Well, hello and welcome everyone here to the Broker HRIS webinar that we're putting on today from kind of the National Group Benefit meetings. Just welcome all the attendees. We're just about to hit 100 and I think we're going to end up kind of well over that. So we'll just quickly go through the agenda here. So we've got our 5 presenters here. We'll have Blanket, HRIS, Collage, Bamboo, and then Jungo. And then we're going to do about a 20-minute question and answer period. And please note that this webinar will be recorded. I just want to give a huge thank you to our 5 presenters today. It's never easy when you're asked to kind of go on stage and present with 4 other competitors in front of everybody. So I think it's just so cool that they've agreed to do this. When I first came up with the idea, I was hoping maybe we'd get 2 or 3 to agree. So to get all 5 to agree, I thought was just incredible. And then a big thank you to our sponsor, BBD, who's letting us use their webinar platform. And Lindsay and Jay as well, who helped me out with this. And everyone who knows Lindsay knows she's all about the betterment of the industry. So even though BBD is our sponsor, it's very much an educational on how do we make the industry better. Then we'll just go on to our disclaimer here. Basically, if you try to sue us or anybody presenting today, we're going to tell you that you're not allowed to and that you shouldn't have and that you should have done your own market research. And basically, it's all on you. And with that, we'll go to our first presenter, Chris Gorey from Blanket. So the floor will be yours, Chris. Go ahead.
Thanks, Blake. Let me just switch over and show my screen here. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, my name is Chris Gorey. I am from Blanket Health, but I'm also an advisor. I've been in the insurance industry for 25 years now, located in Toronto, and work primarily with tech companies. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Blanket Health. This is a platform that we've been working on for a couple of years. Team is myself, and our lead developer is a guy named name of Dan Command, and we've been working on this platform since 2017. I would always be, when talking to these tech companies, and I'm working with some international ones, some small ones, some large ones, they kept saying the same thing to me over and over. You can get home, auto, commercial, life insurance online. You can't get benefits online. What's the problem? So give you a little bit of historical context. We started talking to some of the insurance companies a couple of years ago. There wasn't a lot of interest at the time, and then Zenefits raised a bunch of money, and all of a sudden, InsurTech was on the radar, and they circled back and said, look, what can you do? We've seen a lot of disruptors come, and many of them unsuccessfully enter the benefit space. Many copy the Zenefits model. We decided to come up with a platform that's by advisors who actually know the benefits industry. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to address the pain points for plan advisors, plan administrators, and insurance companies. So how we've done this, how we're addressing this, is by 3 different components within Blanket. So the first thing is a rating engine that actually provides quotes from multiple insurance companies with coverage fully customizable to fit a client's needs and budget. It's paperless. We use a tech company in Toronto called Form Hero. We've digitized all the forms, master apps, enrollment forms, change forms, all on carrier-specific forms. So it's not on a generic form. We've built integrations with leading HRIS platforms. So Bamboo HR, People HR, Breathe HR, and we're looking at other ones. What we're looking at are platforms that have what's called open APIs. So we can connect and pull data from their system, and we can send data back to them. So what does all this mean? That your clients can actually choose the HR platform they want to work with. And again, as long as it has an open API for us to connect to. We can also work with multiple insurance companies, and they can actually not just, they don't have to worry about the quotes, but they can also turn around implementations and enrollments in less time because the forms are clear, no more handwritten PDFs, and complete. Using Form Hero, they can't actually skip over any of the fields, whether it be on a master app change form. It's a really, really tight integration between the two. So what I'm going to do now is pop over. I'm going to show you the demo of what we've done. We have actually we're building 2 workflows. The first thing is the consumer-facing workflow, which I'm going to show to you. The advisor-facing workflow, we're almost done. The consumer-facing workflow can be used in 2 different ways. An advisor can put it on their website, or they can send the link off to a prospect if they're on a Zoom call or whatever the case is to get their quote. So let me pop over here now, and I'll show you exactly how this works. And my laptop is a little slow when we're actually doing things like GoToMeetings and what have you. So right now, we have the rates just for Ontario, but we're actually partnering with carriers to get the rates from other provinces. So we're just going to say yes. And right now we're just quoting on virgin 2 to 50 life cases. Insurance companies are taking a walk before you run approach. So they've said, yeah, they're interested in actually providing us rates for existing groups, but we just have to quote on virgin cases right now just to prove ourselves and gain their confidence. So we'll say yes to Ontario and no to benefits. We'll give some basic information. So we'll just call our company test. We'll come up with a postal code, and nobody try and Google that. That's actually my home postal code. For the industry, we're doing flat life and no LTD. Again, we have to prove ourselves to the carriers. So because of that, we're able to dummy it down, and we just have white collar, blue collar, gray collar, and tech startup. So we'll choose white collar. We choose 10 male, 10 female, 10 married, 10 single, and let's say everyone is 35 years of age. What we can then do is then choose the coverage. And let's choose 70,000 at 80%. And you'll see that every field has descriptions here. When you put this on your site, it is going to be branded for you, and it's going to have your own color, your color scheme as well. So it's not going to have the blanket brand, and it's not going to have our color scheme. We have a 10,000 drug cap and unlimited. We are going to be adding a 5,000 drug cap. Let's skip over the vision, pardon me. And we'll put 500 paramedicals at a combined, exclude orthotics, 1,000 of dental, 80% with a 6-month recall. And we actually get our quotes. So we have 6 of them here. I'm just going to move this GoToMeeting panel out of the way, and let's select this quote here. Now you notice that it actually just says company 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We want people to actually have some skin in the game, so they can't actually just go and get a quote and say, hey, Empire's quoting this, or BBD is quoting this. We want them to actually register, and then they can find out who the carriers are. And my belief is that if you sell on price, you're going to lose on price. So we're going to create an account here, and I'll show you what the next steps are for the consumer. And now log in, and you can log in using Google credentials as well. So we'll just log in with the account that I just created. I'm going to fly. This is what happens when you type quickly. We're going to fly through this just so I can give everybody the gist of the platform. And as I said before, my belief is that if you sell on price, you lose on price. So we've added some differentiating questions. We're actually asking each one of the carriers to provide their own questions, and these are being modified right now. So for example, not to pick on Empire, but if you had any employees that are new to Canada, they don't have provincial plan replacement coverage. So you would want to steer away from Empire where possible. So we're just going to quickly go through this, because I know I have 20 minutes here. I don't want to overstep my time. And you'll see it will actually say, hey, based on your original quote, this is who you selected, but based on some of the answers you chose, we actually recommend going with this platform. Just for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to choose Empire, and it says save the quote. And now we actually start doing everything digitally. So as mentioned, we're using a platform called Form Hero. So we are actually passing the data over to Form Hero. And this is what an API does. It actually passes software back and forth, or data back and forth between different platforms. So you can see here, these are the questions that actually appear on the Empire Life form. The cool thing is, Form Hero actually has a Canada Post lookup. So you can see that you can't actually just make up data, for example, an address. You actually have to choose, and I'm just randomly choosing an address here, and then it populates everything. And you cannot skip over any of these fields and go on to the next one. So why don't we just click on next here? Whoops, did not mean to do that, my apologies. There we go. And these are word for word the questions that are on the Empire Life Master application. And because I'm allotted 20 minutes, I'm just going to skip through this. You can imagine completing the entire master application. You can see the progress bar across the bottom, 13%, and at the very end of it, DocuSign the complete document. Now, let's just say, again, for the sake of time, we've completed everything. We're now brought to this screen. or we can add in our employees. You can manually add in an employee, or you can integrate with an HR platform, or you can also upload them via CSV file. We've just added the CSV feature. So we're going to actually show how the integration works tightly with one of the leading HR platforms, and that's Bamboo HR. What we do is we actually go into we ask the people to enter in their username, their company name, and their password, and then we encrypt the key so it cannot actually be hacked at all. And what it's going to do, it's going to actually input all the data from Bamboo into Blanket. But what it's going to do as well, it's going to verify the data. So if you remember the beginning, I said we had 10 single, 10 female, 10 single, 10 married, 10 male, 10 female, and average age of 35. And it's actually verifying the data that exists within Bamboo. So it's saying, hey, you had 10 male, you actually have 5. You said you had 10 female, you actually have 3. So it's now going to rerun the rates when we get to the next screen based on the actual data. So now that we have the updated rates. So what happens now is that the employees have all been sent links to actually complete their forms within a browser the exact same manner that we completed the master application. So they've all been sent a link. These are the employees that we actually brought in. The cool thing is that you can actually edit the employee data here within Blanket, and it will write the data back to Bamboo or whatever HR platform that your client's actually choosing to use. So you don't actually have to make these changes and address marital status on 2 different platforms. It will actually sync back and forth between the 2. It just takes a little bit of time. The other thing we just added is, people always complain, hey, I didn't get the email. We've just added the software platform, this integration with a platform called Mailgun. Every 5 minutes, what it does, it actually updates and says whether the form went through successfully. So you can see these are the email addresses. We just made these up, and it will show whether the form went through or not. You can also send a reminder off to the employee that way, just by clicking on that, and you'll see that the reminder has been sent off to the employee. Every day at 7 o'clock in the morning, we send off email reminders to the employees. You have this outstanding enrollment form. You have this outstanding change form. We also send off a reminder to the plan administrator. These are the outstanding forms. For the employees that are completing forms for a brand new group, they're actually kind of read the riot act a little bit, and they're told, hey, you've got to get your act together and complete the enrollment form because you're holding this up for the entire company. So the cool thing is when with Bamboo, if they add an employee, we pick up on that change automatically. We send off the enrollment form. If they change from single to married to single, we pick up on that and we send them the enrollment form automatically. So it's a very, very tight integration between the 2. So I'm going to pop back to the PowerPoint because I want to go through what we've done so far and what we're going to be doing next. So as mentioned, we're actually just finishing off the advisor workflow, and that's going to be going live with beta testing next month. We're rolling out to advisors in Q1, ideally the beginning, January, February, as soon as we get the last of the bugs sorted out. I'm not saying we have bugs, but it's inevitable. We are talking to insurance companies to get more on board. Right now, we have rates in place from 4, and we're in negotiations with 5 or 6 more. When I say negotiation, some are kind of just figuring out where they are. Some are actually working on their rates right now. It's all over the place. We're going with traditional carriers and also self-funded ASO for an option. We're adding additional provinces to the rating engine. We're enhancing the back end of the platform, adding more functionality. As I mentioned, we're looking to add more HR integrations. We're going to be creating a marketplace of third-party carrier-neutral add-ons, EAPs, HSAs, group RSPs. Again, we don't want to annoy any carrier, so they are going to be carrier neutral. We are going to be adding APIs. Now, the APIs, as I mentioned, it allows data to go back and forth between software platforms. So 2 carriers, Empire Life and Canada Life, have various APIs that they're working on that are in different stages. So as the different insurance companies introduce more APIs, we can actually send data back and forth real time, whether it be rates from their system to ours, enrollments, changes, whatever the case is. We're actually going to be adding that over the next while. We're also going to be adding benchmarking data. If you remember at the beginning, I listed the different segments to the industry: white collar, blue collar, gray collar, and tech startup. So we're going to be adding benchmarking data. So if a prospect doesn't know, hey, what kind of coverage should I be adding? What's best practices for my industry? They'll be able to pre-populate fields. We're adding the ability to quote on existing groups and to add long-term disability. We're going to be integrating with payroll providers. The difficulty in Canada is finding payroll providers with an open API. What we've also done over the last couple of months, and I thank some of you who are on the call right now who participated in this, but we demoed the platform to about 25 advisors across the country, and we've taken the features that they would like to see. And these advisors went from coast to coast, well, almost coast to coast, New Brunswick to BC, to actually, Jay, you were part of this. And we took the features that they would like to see, and we're going to be implementing those. Some of the features, 5 of the 24 that we have, in lieu of no LTD, offer the optional CI, portable CI, have plan members annually verify info by resending their beneficiary forms. So they can verify dependent information, contact information, dependent information. We're going to be storing employee data in the system, so it's going to be easier to remarket to carriers. We're going to be customizing the advisor setup. So maybe you only want to quote 2 or 3 carriers and present that to your clients. So we're going to be customizing advisor setups. And we're going to be adding more automated notifications for plan members, admins, and advisors. The other thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be starting an advisor advisory group. Sorry to keep repeating the term advisor advisory, because this is a platform that is being developed by advisors for advisors, and we want everyone's feedback. So, I mean, I can share what I see with the 100 or so groups that I work with, but we need everyone's feedback coast to coast. Sharing with the 25 advisors that took a look at it was very, very helpful. So you're saying, probably wondering, it's advisor focused, what can I do? We're trying to get as many companies, insurance companies on board. We'd love your help. We really want Blanket to be an employee benefits admin platform that's grassroots and community driven. We've reached out to as many insurance companies and MGAs as we can. We've reached out to practically everyone. We've had conversations. Some have been very fruitful, some have not. The more that they, being the carriers and the MGAs, hear from you, the better. So if you really want to see carriers on there from a quoting standpoint and from an integration form standpoint, please reach out to them, give them my contact information. I'd love to talk to them some more. And as mentioned, we're looking to establish a national advisor group. If you really, really want to help shape the future of a benefits administration in Canada, we'd love to have you involved. So the last slide you're going to see here is my contact information. So I'd love to talk to you, everyone, more. If you'd like to take a deeper dive into the platform, not have the 20-minute restriction, and thanks, to Lindsay and Blake and Jay for putting this on. If you'd like to see more of the platform, reach out. There's my email. Find me on LinkedIn. And the bottom one, now this is a little tip as an advisor, you can actually get these links from Zoom and Calendly, which are 2 platforms that integrate with your calendar, so people can actually book directly off your calendar. You don't have to go back and forth. So if you want to actually just book a time on my calendar, there's the link. Okay. Thanks everybody for your time, and I really, really do appreciate this. And again, if you have any questions, let me know.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Chris. And then I should mention earlier too that there is a questions, and we're going to hold all the questions till the end, but in the question box, if you want to ask anybody a question, if you can just put who the question is for in the box, that way at the end we can coordinate who it's for. So put either Blanket or Chris Gorey, or if the next one RIS with Josh, just so at the end we know how to allocate the questions. Then up next we have Josh McBride with RIS. Please go ahead, Josh.
Awesome. Thank you. So great. So I'm Josh McBride. I'm the Director of Partnerships at RIS People. So I'm going to be walking you guys through a bit of an overview of the RIS platform. We're going to be talking about a few topics today. Really, the basis for this meeting was HR platforms and sort of what's out there, and RIS is one of those. There's some other features and functions we'll talk about today that are sort of related and a part of that sort of greater HR topic. So excited to share that with you guys today. So just in terms of who RISE is, where we started, what we do. So we've been in business for about 9 years. We started as a payroll company, and a number of years ago, we got into the benefits space. So as Chris had mentioned, we were sort of one of those organizations that started working as an advisor. So we had HR and payroll products. A lot of customers in the Canadian marketplace were really excited to have modern solutions. Up until recently, the solutions that they've had are, either archaic payroll solutions like ADP or Ceridian, or they'd have standalone HR products, and there's a few of those out in the marketplace today. But really what was missing in the Canadian marketplace was sort of an all-in-one approach. So payroll that worked with your HR system, that worked with your group benefits carrier. So that's what we sort of came to market with. We ended up building a pretty large block of clients very quickly. Personally, I was the first salesperson at RISE. I think I brought on about 100 new cases in about 9 months. So it grew extremely fast. But what we started realizing is that we were probably a lot better at building software, like the software that I'm going to show you today, than we were at being advisors. So we ended up selling our block. We got a large investment by Sun Life. We had a $24 million Series A round. We're about to go into a Series B as well. And with that investment, we got out of that space. So we're no longer acting as an advisor. Really what we're doing now is partnering with advisors to deliver technology to clients, and carriers as well, partnering with carriers. So today we have thousands of clients. We're bringing on hundreds of clients a month in the Canadian space, which is really rapid growth. We brought on 4 times the number of clients this month than we did 3 months ago. So it's something that's really sort of catching hold in the Canadian marketplace. So this HR space is something definitely to keep your thumb on. The range of employees that we work with is roughly 3,000 to 3,000. We have a couple of clients that are larger than that, but for the most part, we focus, let's say, on that 20 to a couple hundred employees. That's where sort of the sweet spot of our business is. Our customer retention rate is really high. We're pushing over 98% over the 9 years that we've been in business. And we processed about $18 billion in payroll last year as a payroll provider. So what RISE is, in one slide, is really a fully integrated all-in-one platform. So we bring together HR, payroll, time and attendance, which is tracking hours for hourly employees, scheduling, etc., and benefits, so integration with the insurance carrier. Now, I go through this scenario quite a bit when I'm talking to advisors, but let me just give you a little bit of a tidbit as to why it sort of makes sense for these systems to work together. So if you look at a typical organization today, let's say that they're using a payroll system like ADP, they're using an HR system, any HR system, and they have their benefits, of course, with a carrier. Now, what happens if somebody's salary needs to be adjusted, or maybe they get a salary raise? So today, with their existing tools and with their existing systems, what they would do is they would go into ADP, their payroll system. They would make the salary change, let's say from 50,000 to 60,000. They would then go into their HR system or update their HR records if they didn't have an HR system with that salary change. The next step they need to do is they go to the carrier and they make the carrier aware of that change as well. So, hey Sun Life, hey Manulife, hey Great West Life, this employee's salary has changed. The next thing that happens is that on the next carrier billing cycle, they're going to get charged for an increased amount of premium if they had any volume-based benefits. They then have to go back into their payroll system in ADP and update the taxable benefit and deduction rates. So there's like 4 or 5 moving steps that they need to do for one simple change. The idea with RISE is that you make a change in one place and it radiates everywhere. So in that scenario, you would update somebody's salary, payroll would be adjusted, the HR record would be adjusted, the carrier would be made up to date of that change, and the taxable benefit and deductions and payroll would also be automatically adjusted. So you just change the salary and that's all that you need to do. In terms of what sets RISE apart, there's really sort of 3 main components that I see. Simplicity, so a lot of automated processes. This is particularly important for small businesses where they may not have a dedicated HR manager. you can imagine if you're 15, 16, 20 employees, something like that, you may not be at the scale where you can afford to have a dedicated HR person. You may have somebody that is sort of multitasking, doing a lot of administration. And even as it goes beyond that, I've worked with businesses up to 70, 80 employees that still don't have a dedicated HR person, where a founder or a dedicated admin person is sort of working in that role. So simplicity is a really big sell for those types of organizations. So the more that you can automate processes between HR and payroll and group benefits administration, the better. Integration is a big part of how we make that happen. So making sure that all the data is in sync as you make changes, no need to update multiple systems. And then lastly, support. So all of our support is based out of Canada. We have an office in Montreal dedicated to support for the East Coast in English and French, as well as an office in Vancouver. So we have coverage across the country. Our support is absolutely outstanding. We have live chat within the system. If you ask a question, you'll get a response within 60 seconds. If you call us, we'll pick up within 3 rings. So making sure that you have somebody that understands Canadian payroll, that understands group benefits and Canadian carriers is super, super important. So in terms of the platform itself, these are some of the highlights I just want to share with you. We're not going to go too deep into each of them because, of course, they can it can really go down a rabbit hole in any of these areas. But just at a high level, so that you're aware, some great parts of the platform are recruiting. So recruiting is basically being able to create a job posting, post it out either to your own website or to a third-party job board like Indeed. Start collecting resumes and moving employees or candidates through that hiring cycle. So evaluating the best talent, and you can do that as a team. So collaborating on interviews, rating how interviews went, moving them through that hiring pipeline to make sure that small and medium-sized businesses also have the same tools that large businesses do to attract and retain and go through the recruiting cycle for all types of talent. So that's really the first time that you're going to interact with an employee. If you sort of look at it as an end-to-end journey from hire to retire, the first time you're ever going to have any interaction with them is during the recruiting cycle. And you're going to start collecting information about them. So, at that point, you may know their first name, you may know their last name, you know the position that you're hiring them for. And that's all information that's going to become useful. If you think down the line, whenever they're hired and maybe they meet their eligibility period, we're still going to need that information to enroll them in group benefits. So instead of having to ask them for the same information more than once, we start collecting information right at the beginning of all interaction with that employee. Once you decide to hire them, then you jump into a process that we call onboarding. So that can be sending personalized hire invites to employees, getting them to sign off on forms, submitting banking information, and having that all be automated so that the information collection, the welcome email, what to know on your first day, you can leave a really good first impression on all of your employees. And a paperless one at that employees can action either on their mobile phone or on web. Once they're hired, really some of the core HR capabilities of the platform start to become more important. So having an employee directory where an employee can understand exactly who else is working at the company, what their roles are, how to contact them. Performance management, so maybe an organization wants to do annual performance reviews. Having employees being able to log in and make changes themselves is really important, especially as you scale. If every change has to go through an administrator and they need to manually enter it into an Excel spreadsheet or an HR system or into a carrier, as you grow, that becomes a pretty heavy task. And of course, it's supplemented with all types of custom reporting. A really good example of this would be for something like time off. Time off is pretty simple to manage for a couple employees, but when you have 50 or 60 employees asking you, how many days do I have left in my vacation policy, it becomes pretty cumbersome. So this system automates that. Employees can log in, they can understand exactly how many days they have left in their vacation policies. They understand if they reset at the end of the year, if they're able to carry over any days into next year. It's really, really simple, and the system does as much as it can to run that process for you. From a payroll perspective, this is an area that we're really strong in. This is where RISE got its start. And what we've been really sort of careful to do over the years is, as we add all of these great HR functionalities, integration with insurance products, what we're careful to do is make sure that we're making it easier to do payroll. So the example that I gave you before, which was an employee salary changing, and that, in the end, what that caused was a change in the amount that the employee had to pay for, let's say, LTD. Like, that's one example of an automation where you're making changes either in HR or to the group benefits plan, and those changes would automatically flow to payroll. So we're trying to automate as much as we can here. All the compliance remittances are automated, and it makes it really easy to reconcile with accounting and reconcile with your group benefits plan. We also have scheduling and time and attendance capabilities. So this is really anything related to time tracking for hourly employees. So having a portal where they can clock into work, clock out of work. Again, this has a lot of tie-in with payroll. Instead of having to collect timesheets from 20 employees that may be hourly, managers collecting timesheets, submitting them to finance or to the payroll person or to the business owner if they're really small, and having them verify, validate, and then pay. All of that can be automated so that the managers just have to approve or reject timesheets that are submitted by their employees, and finance can just approve or reject timesheets that have been submitted in bulk by managers. So making that process really easy, no data entry needed, just approving and rejecting time that's being validated by the system. And lastly, the part that we'll talk a little bit more about is benefits. So a number of the people on this call probably know that we have a pretty close relationship with Sun Life. I mentioned that they are an investor and a shareholder in RISE. So we've done a lot of work to come to market with some pretty interesting solutions for Sun Life clients. And we're going to talk about those more in depth today. But at a high level, for benefits administration, this tool makes it really easy to do enrollment. It makes it really easy to do ongoing plan administration, and it gives employees a portal where not only are they able to enroll, but they're able to come back, add dependents, update their beneficiaries, and do that in a fully digital way. So I'm going to change my, my screen share here for just a second, and I want to show you that platform. So this platform is Benefits Essentials. And what this is we came to market with this with Sun Life. This is available to all Sun Life clients, whether new or existing, and it's completely free for Sun Life clients. So this can be sort of seen as a digital enrollment alternative to a PDF enrollment process. So you have a list of all of your employees here. The employer doesn't have to do any of the setup. The setup is automated. It happens through Sun Life's backend systems and an integration with RISE. We have this employee here, Grace Carr. All the employer needs to do, or the plan admin, log in, click on send invite, select the division and the class. If they have the ability to waive the waiting period within the plan design, they can do that and click on send invite. And just like that, an employee's been invited. These invites, by the way, can also be automated. The employee will get an enrollment email and they'll go through the process. They'll add their dependents, they'll make their selections for their group benefits plan, and they'll be fully enrolled at the end of the process. The process takes a couple of minutes for the employees to go through. From the admin experience, for the plan admin, as employees are making changes, they can just approve or reject those changes. So no more change forms needed. Simply looks good, doesn't look good, we can send it back to the employee. Of course, they have all the reporting and billing tools that they need as well. So this really sort of replaces, for Sun Life clients, the plan sponsor portal. So all of the functionality that exists in the plan sponsor portal is here, plus all of the great features like electronic enrollment, electronic beneficiary designation. You can find that all on the RISE platform. So just a few more points on this Benefits Essentials program, and I'm spending a little bit more time on this today because it is completely free. And let me just, there we go. Perfect. So like I mentioned, it includes employee self-enrollment, single sign-on from RISE to Sun Life, meaning that employees can move seamlessly between RISE and Sun Life, electronic and paperless beneficiary designation, consolidated integrated billing, which basically means that EAP and premium are landing on one bill. It syncs nightly with Sun Life, and of course, those admin approval changes, those are all coming through a queue. So it makes it really simple for plan admins to manage. In terms of the types of plans that it supports, any traditionally fully insured plan is supported. It can support HSA, it can support EAP, and it can also support multiple billing divisions. The easiest way to think about it is as a digital enrollment alternative to the traditional Sun Life PDF paper enrollment process. You know, the real value points at a high level: no more paperwork, simplified billing, a modern employee experience. And because there's all these reminders that happen automatically through the platform, we're not seeing any late applicant issues with all of the clients that are using this platform today, which is cool. We do have a program in place around Benefits Essentials as well. So if you have a client that is an in-force group, is already using Sun Life, then Benefits Essentials is completely free to them. If you have a new client, meaning a client that you're putting on Sun Life, we do have a compensation program in place. If it's 20 employees or less, it's $500. If it's 21 or more, it's $1,000. That's a one-time fee. It's just a gesture of a thank you. So if you have any clients that you're setting up on Sun Life, let us know. And if you do the digital enrollment through RISE, we'll, in addition to whatever compensation you're getting from the carrier, we'll also give you a gift as well. In terms of who to contact, if you have any clients in mind, my name is Josh McBride. I'm probably the best person to reach out to. My email is here, my phone number is here as well, so that's my mobile. One sort of piece I should mention as well, I've talked a lot about Sun Life today. So, you know, because of the investment and because of the close partnership that we have, we're sort of looking to roll out functionality first with Sun Life, but we are actively exploring other partnerships as well, and have a number of conversations in the pipeline for other carriers. So expect to hear some news about that within I would guess the coming year. So stay tuned. And that's it for me today. So I'll pass the torch.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Josh. And then up next, we have Louise from Collage, who's presenting. Welcome, Louise.
Okay, hoping you guys can see my screen.
We can see you, but not your screen yet.
Like for whatever reason, he has he's not under the presenter tab anymore. Oddly, it's now got Steve Clark twice, which is odd. So maybe we can move down to Steve, and then I'll work in the back end to get Louise fired up after Steve's.
Sounds good. It wouldn't be a good webinar with a couple hiccups. So if you're ready to go, Steve with Bamboo, we'll put the floor over to you.
Yep, I'm ready. Let's see. All right, not to be silly, but how do I show my screen here?
There's a little tab right next to where all the chat functions are that will say share screen.
Ah, thank you. There I am. I'm so sorry. Where is it?
It should be right below kind of the microphone and the camera buttons.
Yeah, so it's this right here, but it's not. Oh man, I'm so sorry. It's very embarrassing.
That's okay. Wait, do you see it? Do you see it under? There's a green microphone, then a webcam, and then there should be like a dual monitor.
Yes, and I can see that, and I click on it, and it just takes me from. Let's see.
Do you see on the panel? Do you see a drop down that says sharing? Can you click on that?
It just says stop sharing my webcam.
So is there a big? There should be a big like a play button that says show screen, and then a stop button that says stop sharing. Do you see that?
No, I do not. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Open. I think it's probably my system is blocking it from from allowing it to show.
Okay, why don't we jump
So
to
sorry,
Kaniz
guys.
and Django, and we'll get the technical people in our background here to help out. If we'll welcome
Yeah.
Django and Kaniz to present now.
Hi there, can you just make me the presenter?
It's coming.
Perfect, thank you so much. Are you able to see my screen?
We can.
Perfect. So thank you everyone for joining us today to review Django HR. We're here to show you how your clients can take their time back. Did you know that HR professionals can spend up to 3 hours a day on routine manual admin tasks? That's almost 2 days a week just spent looking for data, using Excel to manually add vacation days, duplicating forms, creating HR letters from scratch, and trying to organize their online or worse, paper files. This time wasted is costing your clients money, but we have a solution for that. Enter the Django HR HRIS. Part of the Django HR Hub, an innovative offering from GroupQuest Resources, Inc. We're a full-service HRIS that combines award-winning HRIS features with connectivity to insurance carriers using our own TPA, taking your clients from hire to retire quickly and easily. It's easy for your clients to enter employee information and find what they're looking for and run reports so they can use their data in a meaningful way to add value to the bottom line. My name's Kaniz Jaffer, and I'm going to show you the Django HR HRIS in action. So let's meet the team. On our team today, we have Mario Malatesta, who's our VP of Partner Relations and MGA Solutions for GroupQuest Benefits Resources, Inc. We also have Lisa Kurek, VP of Distribution, MGA and HRIS Solutions for GroupQuest Benefit Resources, Inc. And myself, Kaniz Jaffer, the Director of Business and Product Development for HRIS Solutions, and Anne-Marie Carey, our AVP of Managed Services, TPA and HRIS Solutions. Now, it's only me presenting today, but we do have our other team members available in the presentation. We're excited to be starting off today with a live demo of the HRIS offering, followed by the Django HR difference and what sets us apart from the market. We'll then outline the pricing around the system, and lastly, a 5-minute Q&A. So let's go through a live demo of the HRIS. Let's get started. Can you still see my screen? I just want to confirm.
Yep,
You're good.
Awesome, thank you so much. Okay. So here we are, we're at a dashboard. We're at a homepage dashboard where we can actually see this is a no ordinary HRIS. It's packed full of features and social collaboration tools. So let's take a look at some. On the left-hand side, we can see a newsfeed very similar to Facebook or LinkedIn. And we can see we can post status announcements, even videos, and other employees can come and like and comment on that as well. We can post welcome messages and birthday messages as well. Part of the social collaboration is, of course, instant messaging. So anyone who's online in the system at the same time as we are, I can actually send them a quick message. I can even phone them, or I can do a video conversation. Let's scroll back up. On the right-hand side, we have my alerts. So all of my to-dos in the system, anything that needs my immediate attention is right here on my alerts. And just a note here about the notifications. We've actually got 3 different ways to receive these notifications. One is, of course, when you log into this desktop. The other one is that we have an app for both iPhone and Android. And we, of course, receive all of these notifications via email as well. So I'm going to scroll down to our leave summary. Now, this is an area where your clients typically manage their leaves with Excel or with paper files, but it's really easy in this system. As an employee, I can go in and I can see exactly what I need to see. I can see all of the information right here. According to the leave type, I can see what I'm entitled to, what I've accrued, what I've carried over, what I've taken, and what's pending approval. I can also see that all-important balance column right there. I can also see my plan information. So let's take a look at what your plan sponsors and your plan, what your employees can also see as well. So as an employee, I can also see my plan booklets right here. And these are PDFs. And obviously this is a role-based system. So your employees are only ever going to see what's applicable to them. I can see all the information about my plans. I can see my company policies. And if I just open that up as well, I can actually review handbooks in the system. And you may be able to hear the pages turning right there. So the system converts a PDF into a flip book style PDF. I can also fill out any forms that I need to, including an enrollment form right here in the system. And this is all managed at the back end by our TPA. So they do all the checks and balances, but at least your employee can actually fill this form in right within the new hire onboarding screen. Let's go back to our dashboard. As an employee, if I have a plan, let's say I'm with Manulife, we provide these quick and easy links that if I do need to submit a claim, I can actually just click on a link and I'm taken immediately to the Manulife website where I can actually put my information in. And these widgets, these series of widgets that you see here on the right-hand side are actually customizable. So we can rearrange the order, we can put them on the left or the right, and we can show and hide whichever ones we need. If I go to other areas of the system, which is great, not just for new hires, but also hires that you've had for a while, we've got an organization chart that's dynamically drawn and generated by all the available information within the system. We also have a full business directory filtered by any area that you need it to be filtered by. So if I need to find somebody in human resources, for example, I'm just going to apply the filters and I can see that right there. Otherwise, it's going to show me everybody within the company. And I can also see a company-wide calendar as well. So this is really useful when I want to be able to plan some time off and I want to be able to see exactly what I need to see for all my locations or even a single location. So I can scroll through month to month and just see all the information that I need to see. This is going to house things like time off. It's also going to house work anniversaries, birthdays, if that's what we employees would like to see on there, and other various holidays, etc., and important information. We have a full reports section as well. So the reports are really comprehensive. We give you about 200 reports with the system, but we also give you a reports generator. And what that will allow you to do is actually pick any data point from the system. If I wanted to find out some benefits information from my employee population, I'm going to just add that information right in there. I can title that report, I can sort it, and I can hit generate report. And the report comes up for me immediately. There's a number of things with type of reports that I can run, and I'll show you another very common one. If we look at something like vacation balances, so instead of your employees having to calculate or your plan sponsors having to calculate the vacation balances for their employees, they can actually just use this feature and bring up a report and it will present automatically. There's a number of different things you can do with this report. You can print it right from within the system. You can email it to an internal or an external email address. You can even export it in a number of different formats like you can see on the screen, or you can save it in an area called My Reports. So what My Reports will allow you to do, it will allow you to build your own library of different reports as well. So very easy to see. Like I mentioned, these reports are all available to you as you need them, and they're all right within the system. So let's go back to our dashboard. We also have a forms area as well, and we have a files area too. If I look at our modules right up here, you can see some of the additional modules that we also have. They're called plus modules, but they're all available within the system as your employees need it. Okay, oops. Just give me a second. Okay, let's go back to our dashboard. If I want to look at this from a benefits perspective, let me look at it from an employee perspective. So I can see my booklets, I can see my forms there, I can submit a claim as well. I can also see all of the summary of plan details. So let me take a look at that as well, just by navigating to the benefits module. Here's a summary of plan details of all the optional and mandatory plans that I'm enrolled in. And I can see the employer and the employee contribution as well as details about that particular benefit. From the employer perspective, so from your plan sponsor perspective, let's start with new hire onboarding, which is one of our core modules. If I look at new hire onboarding, just for time's sake, we're going to use an existing employee. I can actually determine if I'm waiving the waiting period or not for this particular employee right here in this screen. So I can say, yes, I'm waiving the waiting period. I can put in the effective date of coverage, and then I can continue through the wizard and just add the details for that new hire as I need to. I can even send them details of a checklist right here as well. So let me go back to once that person is hired and now they're in your system, there may potentially be movement of that person within the organization. So maybe you hired somebody part-time that didn't get benefits and now they're moving to full-time and now they're eligible for benefits. Very simple to do that. We call that a transfer. The system will pre-populate all the information it thinks that your employee currently has, and then it will ask you, what are you changing for this employee? So right here where I'm highlighting with my mouse, we can see that we can change the benefits category right here. And again, this is managed at the back end with our TPA, so no worries there. And then I can hit save, and that information goes straight through to our TPA that updates the carrier. So from an employer perspective, from your plan sponsor perspective, very easy. At the end of the employee relationship, if I have a termination and I would like to continue benefits for that particular person, I can add a different termination date right in here as well. So I can enter that information, and again, that's all managed by the TPA. So that's the system. That's a very high level overview of the system. Give me a second while I go back to our slideshow. Let's talk a little bit about the Django HR difference. Okay. So at Django HR, not only do we provide your clients with an agile, scalable, and customizable software program, we also pride ourselves on creating a positive customer journey that's unique to the organization, while being supported and executed with a white glove service. Transitioning benefits, implementing technology, and the change management that these entail is daunting and time-consuming for most organizations, and we understand that. Our team of HR and benefit professionals follow a detailed implementation and transition process to support your clients and empower their HR leaders. As part of the Django HR Hub service, you and your clients will have access to a dedicated benefit account manager and HR client success associate, connectivity to major Canadian insurance carriers, TPA administration of the management of the employee benefits and billing, a tailored HRIS implementation project plan and support that includes personalized training, access to our Django HR Academy, which gives you guides, how-tos, and FAQs, our monthly newsletter with announcements, enhancements, tips, and feature updates. And we do all of this with minimal impact on your client's time investment, ensuring that they can focus on their business while we administer the benefits and HRIS requirements. Let's take a look at pricing for the Django HR offering. As part of the Django HR HRIS offering, the core modules that are included include things like core HR, benefits with carrier connectivity, leave management, onboarding, e-signatures, and forms. We also have some plus modules. And these include things like performance, recruitment, expense management, training, HR letters, scheduling, and many more. Now, I'm sure you're all dying to hear how much this is actually going to cost your clients. So the cost of this is simple. Your client pays $0 per employee per month and $0 implementation for fully insured benefit plans with AOR for all of the core modules. Now, this makes a very easy conversation for you and your clients. In addition to providing you access to the HRIS offering for $0, Django HR continues to invest in you and your clients by creating dedicated resources such as videos, content offers, blog posts, and access to thought leadership pieces in HR, benefits, wellness, and culture. Each and every one of your clients will have access to a dedicated HR team to support their organization through the implementation project, and that includes ongoing product development and enhancement support. And finally, we're going to provide you with extensive advisor training, which includes the tools needed to help your clients and grow your business. Now let's get into what your investment would be as a certified Django HR advisor through GroupQuest benefits. So your investment includes a monthly licensing fee and a one-time per client implementation fee. The monthly licensing fee for a firm with, if you have 1 or 2 advisors, you're looking at $150. If you have firms with 3 advisors or more, we're talking $250. Now this one-time per client implementation fee is calculated and based on the total number of employees being onboarded that's aligned with the Django HR tiered pricing model. For comparison purposes, this equates to approximately 50% of the first year commission on a standard Crown scale. And in addition, your investment, Django HR and GroupQuest will also continue to invest in your client. So your client will have no initial setup fees. Let's just go back to the previous slide. Your client will have no initial setup fees for the core modules, which in itself can increase the likelihood of winning the business. With Django HR, you have a suite of services, support, and technology to move up market and compete in a new space while being proactive and staying ahead of the game, ensuring you have access to the most up-to-date and modern HRIS platform and HR expertise. Now, to illustrate both your investment and Django HR's, we've put together a sample based on 50 and 150 employees. So although we have 2 examples illustrated, in the interest of time, I'm just going to take us through the 50 group life example. As you can see on the chart, with an annual premium of $150,000, the Crown scale commission would be approximately $6,400. Your investment in the first year for the one-time implementation fee on a group this size would be approximately $3,700. Year 2 and beyond, your investment, with the exception of the monthly licensing fee, Year 2 and beyond, with the exception of the monthly license fee, is $0. I know we've covered a lot of information and you probably have a lot of questions. So this is our contact us page. Do make a note of the email addresses you see right there and the numbers. And you can also send inquiries to jordan@djangohr.ca. Any specific questions about the overall program, how to get started as a certified advisor with GroupQuest, you can connect with Lisa or Mario directly. And I want to thank everybody for their time today. I hope I reached the 20 minutes, but I'm sure we'll have some Q&A at the end.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. And thank you, everybody, for being flexible too, because now we're going to go over to Louise and go back to collage here. Louise, take it away.
Okay, is that working this time?
Perfect.
You're good to go.
Okay. It all looks right on my side too. Excellent. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. Sorry about the hiccup there, but thank you all for making the time. Thank you in particular to Blake for the invitation. This is an amazing opportunity, an excellent opportunity to talk to all of you. It's been something that has been part of my role at Collage for a long time, speaking with advisors. Sorry, just setting my timer here so I don't go over. And
So currently I am a director of advisor technologies. And one of the things that I thought would be nice to do for this presentation is Collage has been around since 2016. And we've done quite a few different things in that time, always listening to feedback from clients and advisors and you know, putting that in a roadmap and diligently delivering on those updates. So I thought I would first show you sort of a bit of the history of Collage. Most of you already know. In fact, I bet that most of the people on the call today have already had a call or a meeting and a demo with me at some point of one of our solutions that we've had over time. So it'd be nice to recap the history of Collage, where we are right now, and then go on to a quick live demonstration of our platforms. So to begin with, I wanted to kind of list the three divisions, the three different platforms and services we have available right now. Number one being Benefits HQ. It is a standalone benefits administration and enrollment portal. It's branded, it's made for advisors, so you put your logo on it, you provide it to your clients. So this solution was completely thought of for advisors and their clients, and it's a direct consequence of listening to client feedback over time. That's our leading solution right now. Number two, Collage HR, leading HR solution for Canadian small and mid-sized businesses. The range of our clients typically is between 1 and 200 employees. We do have a handful of clients over 200, but really the focus is on smaller employers. In the 1 to 100 range, we knock it out of the park. Really do a great job, and that's where most of our clients are. A good number of clients up to 200. So if you're thinking about your block of business and potential fit for your clients in the 1 to 200, you definitely want to look at us. 100 to 200, also Collage is a good contender, and then over 200, less likely that will be the right solution. And that's an important thing to know, I think. In terms of technology, it's one of the things we've learned over time. You can't help every client out there. No one single solution is going to be the right answer. So, which also makes me think about Blake's invite to me. First of all, focused around the HRIS topic, and second of all, kind of based on his search for one HRIS partner. I would say definitely you need to have, you know, partners, but you're always going to have to, if you want to serve your clients well, you're always going to have a number of options to offer, because no way that you know, an advisor's full block of business will be well served by a single solution. So that's another thing to keep in mind. And last thing is Collage Payroll Services, something we launched along the way, and we have two service levels: sync or managed payroll. I'll explain more details along the way, but both of them work on the client's existing payroll software. So we sync currently with ADP, Ceridian, Payworks, WagePoint, a number of existing popular payroll solutions, so that we don't have to disrupt the client's existing payroll. And the reality is that when it comes to small businesses, most of them, if not virtually all of them, already have a payroll software. And you know, considering a change there can be difficult. So better to leave it as is. And then we can add the layer of managed payroll, where we have a team of payroll specialists in our office, and those people can process payroll on the client's behalf. So that's just an overall of the solutions available right now. Here's a quick list of the carriers we work with currently. So in everything related to benefit sync, Collage can sync with a multitude of carriers, keeping your options and your clients' options open. So it is actually a very important part of the philosophy behind what we do, to be centered around advisors and advisors' needs. And one of the important things for advisors is to protect their freedom. So a platform that is unbiased and lets them access different providers in an even way, offers their clients also that freedom to choose their carrier according to convenience at any time. So that's something that we really value, and it's reflected in the list of carriers we currently support. All right, so now on to the timeline, and then I have to save some time for the live demo as well. So 2016 is when Collage started. I was very lucky to join the team at that time. I'm employee number 4. So I lived this stage where we received a significant amount of venture capital that allowed us to invest in market research and kick off the development. We've had a team of 5 developers full-time working for us since the very beginning. So that was a direct consequence of that venture capital that Collage was able to raise. So first year was really about warming up. And then in 2017, we launched Collage under that free software model or the Zenefits model, as was mentioned today. And the idea was to go out there and give away free software in exchange for NOR. The actual solution was based on digital enrollments and administration. So it was an HR software, but the different thing about it was that you could do digital benefits enrollments and benefits administration all in one with HR. So HR plus benefit sync, one single platform for all that information at the same time. So in 2016, 2017, we were thinking about that. And what I'd like to highlight about that is that Collage was from the beginning a group benefits focused organization, I guess you could say. That was always the secret sauce. The different thing about us was not really about HRIS, but very much about being able to sync benefits and do all that together. So in that one first year, we built a block of 70 clients, 70 groups, all of it based on cold calling and AORs. We later decided to, you'll see in 2018, we decided to pivot away from that business model, but that 70 AORs meant something, that we found something of value. And the main conclusion we drew from that was that technology actually is a powerful way for an advisor to differentiate. If Collage, we had a massive cold calling operation, and I've told this story to many people. I'm happy to tell anyone that's curious about it on another occasion, but how we built that block. But it was mainly talking about technology, right? So talking about technology and not advisory services first, talking about technology helped us differentiate and accomplish the goal of having the opportunity to talk to a client and then eventually successfully being appointed AOR. So moving on from that model, we sold that block of business, completely turned it away, and we started partnering with advisors. So I joke that we went from bad guys to best friends of advisors in the Canadian space. And so Advisor Partnerships View 1 was still based on our Collage HR solution, which included Benefit Sync. The one thing we got right in 2018 was the advisor would do, the initial stage of qualification, and we would do the demo and follow the sales cycle, so that the advisors get a lot of support. To this day, that's true from our team. If you have a client with an HR opportunity, you share the information with us, book a demo, you're welcome to be on the call, and our team will do the work of actually taking the client through the process of learning the platform and the sales cycle. It is a complex one. It's not something that you want to learn and manage yourself as an advisor. So the support's there. What we got wrong in 2018 was it was a mandatory bundle, HR and benefits, and the advisor was paying the bill in full. So it was expensive. It meant a significant cut of your commission. Like 25% up to a third of your commission would go into sponsoring the software for clients, which was obviously way too much. So that is something we learned and reviewed. In the mandatory bundle, it seemed obvious that a client going digital with their benefits would also want to go digital with their HR, but that premise was false. That premise was wrong, and it took us a little bit of time to realize that and then pivot away from that assumption. So for most employers out there, going from paper forms to digital benefits is something that interests them, almost a no-brainer. But going digital with their HR, not always the same. So that's something to keep in mind that we learned in 2018. In 2018, we also launched those payroll services that I mentioned before. So you can simply sync Collage HR with your payroll provider, so that you hire someone, you terminate someone on Collage HR, your carrier will know about it, and your payroll software also gets the update, so that next time you log in to run payroll, the new employee profile is already there, the new salary is already there. So one point of entry, benefits and payroll both updated. The next level of service is payroll management. So we have that in-house team that will actually process payroll on the client's behalf, using their ADP, their Ceridian, whatever they have in place, so not disrupting and forcing a change that is a lot of times not welcome. And then we get to 2019, V2 of our advisor partnerships, we launched Benefits HQ, which is a standalone enrollment and administration benefits platform. There's a portal for the sponsor, for the member, and for the advisor, so everybody gets to go online and self-serve and access the information. It is advisor branded, something that was directly out of advisor feedback. So it belongs to you. It's something you take to your clients and you have your brand on it. And HR became optional. So now we are empowering advisors with technology that is all about benefits. That is what ties you to your clients. So you can go, and it's pretty much universal that way as well. So you can, you know, talk to your clients about technology, help them get off the paper forms, help them get a benefits enrollment and administration platform that supports multi-carriers and multi-categories, so EAPs, HSAs, telehealth apps, all that enrollment and administration experience all in one. And for the clients that are interested, you have the option to show them Collage HR as well. Like I said before, Benefits HQ, you can think about it as replacing most of the carrier portal experience. And your client then has in Collage HR a great option to add HR management. But if they don't want to go with HR, they can go with any other platform they like, because Benefits HQ is not replacing and overlapping with HR. It's simply replacing the carrier specific solution with an advisor benefits portal that is multi-carrier instead. So HR upgrades are optional. The sponsor pays the bill very commonly, and the advisor is eligible to a commission by Collage. So every time your clients upgrade, there's a commission for you as well. Also client feedback from 2018. And then we get to 2020. So we're a post-startup now. We've been acquired 100% by People Corporation. We've launched a new product called MGA Plus that bundles essentially all of our technology front end for you and your clients with the back-end support that a group MGA can provide for a solution that that has been really successful. It's really a big game changer for advisors. Lots of new investments with the acquisition of People Corporation, so we're being able to do even more than we were before. We're scaling up at a very very exciting pace. And the most important investment I find that we're receiving right now is that our development team is going from 5 developers to 10, so we're doubling in size in terms of our development firepower, and that's going to make sure that our platform keeps evolving and keeps the lead it has in advisor technology. So that's kind of the summary of where we came from as a startup and where we landed. All around, I think from 2016, focused on group benefits, and as early as 2018, focused on advisors and partnering with advisors. I've always been ahead of that division at Collage since the beginning. Very proud of the relationships we've built over time with advisors, and that's why I'm so excited to be here today, talking to an audience I've come to know well, and that we're very happy to serve. So maybe just as you know, before I go on to the live demo, I'll also mention what we're looking to accomplish here. So the advisor outcomes we're looking to accomplish is to help you differentiate from other advisors. I think that is something that everyone's always looking for as an advisor. How do I differentiate? It helps your retention. It helps your the growth of your block. It's an essential thing that technology can help you do. We saw some of that in our own experience in 2016-17, and we see it with our existing clients on how much we can help them through technology differentiate from other players, and now through service support as well. Focus time on sales and retention. So we also these tools, the service that we offer now through MGA, but also the technology that we offer for administration saves you time, so you can apply that time in being more successful and also having more time to celebrate your success. So that's part of what we do and expect for our partners. And owning the digital relationship with clients is another important aspect. So the portal is an advisor administration and management portal. So it does allow your clients to have more of a relationship, member sponsored, more of a relationship with your brand, visit your website more frequently instead of having an exclusive digital relationship with the carrier. So that's shared, and I think it's appropriate because advisors are, in the end, the long-term relationship with the client. They are the primary owners of that relationship. So you should, as an advisor, own a significant chunk of that digital relationship as well with the sponsor and the member, and that's something that we provide. Okay, so now onto the actual live platform. I want to sign in and show you quickly because we don't have that much time. Of course, that if you're interested, reach out to me. I'll share my contact information in the end, so you can have a proper demo of the platform. But I want to show you first Benefits HQ. Always I'm going to show you from your client's perspective. So what does Benefits HQ look like to a plan admin? They would go through, the client would go through your website, by the way. So the experience starts on your website, click log in there somewhere. We help you build that channel. So the client logs in from your website onto this platform that has your logo. This would be your logo here on the top left corner, your information as their advisor, and maybe someone from your team listed here as well. So plan admins here can do everything except for billing. That remains on the carrier portal, but everything else, including enrollments, terminations, information update is listed here. So my example account, just to show you what's possible, has an EAP plan, a telehealth app, an HSA, topping up the core benefits that in my example are coming from Manulife in 2 separate classes. So this is all that I have synced at the same time in this account. So having an advisor platform instead of a carrier platform to do your benefits administration and enrollments means that you can switch between carriers over the years and your platform never changes because it's provided by your advisor, your long-term relationship, and also means that you can add, different providers at the same time, side by side, and experiences like enrolling a new member, someone just hired today, is a one-step process. You type the information in once, all the carriers, all the services get the update of that information. So very quickly, enrolling someone would involve clicking new enrollment on this portal, typing in basic things like employee's name, start date, job title, all the compensation info, everything needed to establish insurable earnings. And then the plan admin looks at the list of carriers available, the divisions and classes available as well. And for the person being hired today, they'll make the appropriate choice of class, probationary period, and so on for as many carriers as you have in the same account. So in this example, I'm actually enrolling a new employee in 4 different services at the same time. Type in the email address for that employee, sends off a digital invitation. Then it's the member's responsibility to actually type in directly on the platform personal information, spousal dependents, if any, coverage options, and everything in a tight digital experience that has lots of validation built in so that people can't leave important fields blank. They can't make invalid choices, like trying to waive coverage when you have a spouse that is not covered and that kind of thing. So lots of intelligence built in, lots of automated reminders and follow-up built into the platform as well. And one of the consequences of all that is that for groups using Benefits HQ for benefits management, late applicant and late termination situations basically go away. They stop existing because there's a lot built in to help that. And on top of this, now clicking on benefits here on the left side, so besides enrollments, I can click on benefits and then see my full list of employees on benefits currently, their division, class, ID number, it's all here. I can see all of those carriers that my company works with at any time, and I can click on a class to see the breakdown of what that coverage is all about. This is all information provided by carriers, constantly kept up to date by Collage. And again, like I said before, the beauty of an advisor platform instead of a carrier platform is that next year this group gets a bed renewal, market the plan, get a new carrier. We move all the enrollment data without the need of re-enrollment. And on the effective date of the new plan, all this information is going to change. So the logos change, the booklets change, all the information is updated, but the plan admin and every member, they don't have to create a new password, log in and set up a new portal, learn how to use it. They keep going back to the advisor portal. So you have constant, consistent relationship online that is preserved. Okay, so time's running out. I'm going to go and show you Collage HR. This is all about benefits, Benefits HQ. On Collage HR, the visual experience is very similar, but there's just a lot more available. So for companies that have the need to also, or the interest to manage their full HR information online, then they can upgrade to HR. They keep their benefits experience pretty much the same, but they also add things like time off management and performance management, training and recruiting. There's a ton of tools in here, especially under performance. We have 4 different ways to help clients manage performance if that's an interest. But really the most popular ones are putting your employee files online and tracking vacation and sick leave time. That's what most clients come to us for, and it's a great way to get started, right? It involves getting rid of some liabilities. So it really makes sense to start there. And if I could just give you a quick example of an employee's file and what they look like. So in Collage HR, you can store all of your employee information like so. So all the categories, everything's in there. I think that's it for me. I will stop here. My contact information is available, and I hope to hear from all of you and also get some questions in the end. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks very much, Louise. And I really liked you using the office characters there in your demo. That was pretty fun. Then up last, we got Steve Clark with Bamboo. So the floor is yours.
We're going to try this one more time about presenting. So let's see. I'm going to, I keep getting blocked on my side here, guys. Can you hear me okay, Blake?
Yep. Do you want me to share it?
Yeah, probably. That's probably going to be the safest. I'm sorry about this, everybody.
No problem. So Lindsay, if you can just port it over to me.
Doing that now for you, Blake.
There it is. And you just hit present in the top right. There we go. Perfect. All right. So move on to the next slide. Of course, this is built. I'm Steve Clark with Bamboo HR. Bamboo HR is an all-in-one complete HRIS solution. So yeah, I've got some slides hidden there. I work with our reseller and referral partners. So I was invited here to make a, excuse me, to talk a little bit about our product. So thank you for having me. And I apologize about the mishap before. So next slide, we'll go a little bit about Bamboo. So who is Bamboo HR? Again, we're an HRIS platform built around people. We want to work with small, medium-sized businesses and the people who work for them, just like we are, and just like you, and that's what we're built around, is to make sure our product is around the people that work in SMB. So we focus on compensation, culture, people, data, and analytics, hiring, and then onboarding. So moving to the next slide, please. So a few numbers about Bamboo. We're founded in 2008. We've got just over 1.7 million users worldwide. That includes 18,000 customers in over 130 countries and more than 50 industries. So we get a lot of questions about, hey, do you work well in this vertical? Or hey, how do you well do with this channel? And you know what? We really can fit anywhere that you embrace technology and you're looking to get away from spreadsheets and make your human resources life better. Next slide, please. Just some recognition to let you know where we're coming from. GetApp gives us a great reviews. Capterra, G2 Crowd, Stevie winner. I always want to call it Stevia for some reason, but Stevie winner for customer service and satisfaction. So that's one thing that we'll talk about a little bit here. Is a lot of the concern we run into is, look, the product can work great, but if I need help and I need support, are you guys going to be able to take care of me? And the answer is, of course. We love it, and we're recognized for that. Next slide, please. We'll go into some of the customers that we have. Again, just sharing a little bit of information. We work with Wistia. We have Jane, Asana. We've got SoundCloud, ZipRecruiter, Reddit, Spikeball. We've hundreds and hundreds of thousands of clients we have around the world, and these are just a few select ones that we've wanted to demonstrate for you. The next slide, you'll see that a couple of our customers, these are live actual quotes that we've received. You know, people just love it. It'll change your life. The biggest thing we get is the ease of use with Bamboo HR, and that's really what we've built it around, is the employee experience in mind. So we want to make sure that the self-serve and the employee loves the product so that they're happy and they can go out there and do the job that they need to do. And then on the administration side, it's also easy to manage and very customizable. So next slide. Again, just focusing on setting people free to do great work. That's exactly what we focus on, as the people, and allowing people to do what actually matters in HR. On the next slide, you'll see that we are built for small and medium businesses. So 89% of our customers are small SMBs. So small SMBs, I know, ATM machine. So it is, but that's who we focus on. We're not trying to pretend to be anything that we're not. Our stickiest customer is anywhere from 35 to 350 employees. Doesn't mean we can't go into enterprise level, but we really focus on SMB, and that's our target audience, and we're not going to be going anywhere else after this. So next slide, you'll see we have some award-winning products here. We'll go into it. This is our advantage package, and this is what it provides. Again, centered around those 5 pillars that you see around the people. Secure, trusted people data in one place. Gives you very, very sophisticated analytics so you can make people decisions fast. Governance and access controls that you can trust to make sure that the right people are seeing the right profiles and the right things and the right data. Inform people fast-moving processes, self-service, even outside the office, so you don't have to be in front of a computer. You can have it on an app of ours. You can be remote, anywhere you really just can access the cloud. It's collaborative hiring process. What that means is multiple hiring managers can talk about an applicant. They can share notes, they can share reviews and put them back and forth between all the hiring managers and get multiple visibility and multiple feedbacks on a candidates. It's a delightful onboarding experience. It's the most important aspect, really, when you're hiring somebody, is the first 30 days. And that onboarding experience is top-notch, and that's what Bamboo looks to provide for you. Again, easy time off and benefits tracking and a customizable experience. The next slide, you'll see some of the features here. I won't go too much into this. This is just kind of a quick update there of what we do. We'll go a little bit more. I have some screenshots at the end we'll share with you. So the next slide, you'll see supporting your journey. And this is how we're going to support you right from the get-go. You purchase Bamboo HR, you're going to be able to take advantage of our implementation services. We'll help you jumpstart the new system. We're going to help you become a champion. We're going to help you establish best practices. Essentially, we have your back. We want to make sure that you love the experience. We're going to do everything we can to make sure you love it. And that's just as simple as it can be. The next slide, you'll see that we resolve our customer issues in less than 24 hours. Again, we're at the Stevie. Steve, screw that up so many times. It's so funny. But we have a really good customer satisfaction as well. We're 93% customer satisfaction. So we really try to, we take some pride in that. We hang our hat on that. We're very, very much about the customer experience and making sure that, again, that you feel the Bamboo love. So let's talk a little bit about the value and what value Bamboo provides. Go to the next slide and then the one following that. So what we really try to do, because we don't have long-term contracts with Bamboo HR when you sign up, we want to earn your business each and every month. You can cancel at any time. It's as simple as that. But we feel that what we give you and how well we'll work with you, you're never going to want to leave. If you do, okay, that's fine. But if, again, we will do everything in our power to earn your business each and every month. And again, Get App there gives us recognize this as the value for the money. So it's a month-to-month agreement where you'll pay through per employee per month. So next slide. These next 2 slides are going to talk about the ROI of switching to Bamboo HR. This one right here can show how it would be if you were using manual spreadsheets to track your data and the time consumption and how that really takes HR out of it. Somebody goes into HR, it's not because they feel that they love being in spreadsheets. That just is what they have to do. When you do something with Bamboo HR, it's because you want to be involved with people, and you want to build culture, you want to build certain things within the company, and the paperwork and those types of things just get in the way of you being able to do that. So what Bamboo HR does is we really want to set you free to do the work, the great work that you wanted to do when you went into the people business. So this just helps you understand, look, there is a return on this investment. If you are doing manual spreadsheets, you can save an average of $518 a week and $27,000 a year by switching to Bamboo HR. The next slide, because we get a lot of people that say, well, if I have another HR tool, it's really going to be hard to rip and replace. And that's true. It is not fun. Nobody wants to do it. So you want to make that right decision, but sometimes things change. And if they do change, we just wanted to share with you, you're going to save around $500 a week or even $26,000 over the year switching to Bamboo HR from another HR solution. So we feel very confident in what Bamboo HR can bring on the return on your investment. The next slide, you'll see the pricing model. So it's flexible with your business. We have some packages. We have 2 packages that will be whatever feature set you want. We have an Essentials and Advantage package. You can add on product that you need. You pay as you go. It's dynamic pricing and billing. So the more employees you add, the aggregate pricing will drop the PEPM for you. We do have some discounts. A lot of people ask us, our pricing is very static, but we do have some annual prepayment discounts. So you can prepay for 1, 2, or 3 years and you'll get a discount from that. not-for-profit organizations also receive a discount, and then volume discounts based on the number of employees. Several ways for you to save money using Bamboo HR. Next slide, please. So here's some quick supplemental information for you. Performance management. This is one of our add-ons. We do performance a lot different. It's kind of the ugly part of HR. Nobody likes to do performance reviews. They're painful. So what we did is we did a lot of research, and we put together a way to build a good and performance management experience so your employees like it. They feel like they're being targeted in a good way, not in a negative way. Targeted has a bad connotation. We actually allow you to zero in on what's affecting that individual and what ways that you can help that person become better. You can see here on this fun grid, this grid will allow you to see which employees are engaged, which ones are checked out, which ones are rock stars, which ones could use a little bit of work to get into that magic quadrant that's talked about a lot. But this grid, based on the performance reviews, is going to allow you to graphically show where your employees stand based on their reviews. Next slide, please. Another add-on we have is for time tracking. It's for your hourly employees. It's really simple for them to log in. They can log into the system through a computer. They can log in through an app. So if you have people that are out in the field and they need to do hourly timesheets, they can clock right in at any point in time and add it. You can fix it later down the road, but it's a great new feature we have with our time tracking. Next slide. So Bamboo HR, we feel very good about our product, but we also know that, look, we are an all-in-one, which means we do everything. There's somebody that does just applicant tracking. And if that applicant tracking software can do all the things you need, well, we want you to be able to take advantage of that. So we built a robust marketplace where we've gone out and met and partnered with other technology partners to kind of fill the gaps where Bamboo HR might be a little bit light. Our overall product is great, but again, if you need a better performance product or you want to do some more employee recognition through one of our partners like 15Five, we've got integrations built with them in our marketplace, and you can read all about them, how the directional data flows. And we also have an open API. So if you see something where you're like, man, it doesn't exist, we'll grab our open API and get somebody, you guys can build that integration if you'd like. Next slide. Implementation services. So when you purchase Bamboo HR, again, one of the things we talked about is that onboarding. Well, we want to onboard you in that way that makes you happy. So our implementation services timeline is anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. You can kind of see a quick breakdown. You get a dedicated project manager who's going to contact you, and they're going to do everything they can to make sure you meet these timelines, because the data implementation, the faster we can get that done for you, the faster you're going to get going. But we also want to take our time to make sure you're an expert, you understand it. So we're going to make you that rock star and the evangelist for Bamboo HR at your organization. So anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. In the next slide, we also have a feature set for some companies that have less than 15 employees. And you don't want to pay for a full service implementation because it just doesn't make sense to you. Well, we have a great quick start program that's video recording settings, excuse me, that you can watch it at your leisure, and you can do some self-importation. So it's still on demand. You'll be able to still contact live personnel if you need. You're just not going to have that dedicated person that's going to walk you through it. But it allows you to get a similar onboarding experience at a fraction of the price for companies that do not need the full implementation support. Next slide. That's common customization. So we get a lot of people that talk about, hey, what can you customize? What can we make different about Bamboo HR? Well, we can change the color scheme. We can add your logo. We can do all sorts of stuff. But then we can do personalizations where you individual t-shirt sizes. So if you're sending out swag to your company and your employees, you want to make sure they're wearing that shirt that says Bamboo HR. Well, you need to know their sizes so you can send them out without having to ask everybody in a survey. You're going to talk about the different jobs, so we can build out custom reports for you for expense reports or reimbursements, telecommuting, so work from home statuses, which are really big right now. You want to keep track of all that stuff. Administration, education, international, so visas, passports, nationalities. We can build all of these things for you so that Bamboo HR can be as robust as you need and as customized as you need for your business, because everybody's different. Next slide, we'll talk a little bit about the data security, dealing with the cloud. Everybody knows it's kind of, some people feel very worried about it, right? Because you're sending your data, and this is sensitive data you're sending out. So what does Bamboo HR do to make sure that that data doesn't get stolen? Well, we have GDPR compliancy where we work with privacy shield certification. We have very dedicated access levels that you can give to the employees. So, you don't want an intern to see the same thing the CEO can see. And sometimes the CEO doesn't need to see the same thing that the HR specialist can see. So we have custom access levels that you'll be able to turn on and turn off. SOC 2 compliancy, nightly data backups. We have a DR plan built in place. And we also have a way for you to see any outages just by going to our website and typing in a web address. You'll be able to see any outages we have with our data center. So we are very open about our data security, and we take it very, very serious. The next slide, again, just goes into the Advantage package details. Next slide after that. I don't want to waste too much time on here, but this is all available on our website. I know that a lot of information is going to be difficult to retain, so hopefully you can just kind of maybe grab something here that you enjoy. The next slide, you'll see some of the screenshots I wanted to show you. So this is what the homepage looks like. It's the quick snapshot. You're going to see what's going on, what's happening. So you have notifications there in the middle. You've got Daniel John here. You can see his PTO that he has available that he's acquired. So he has the 43 hours. You can click on that request time off, or he can, right next to that, there's a little calculator. If he wants to take a vacation in February of 2021, he's going to be able to calculate how many hours he has available at that time, so he can start forecasting his time off and really dedicate it, make sure that he's using up all of his hours, because nothing's worse than giving somebody PTO and they don't use it. So we want to be able to do that. Then you'll also be able to see, welcome. You'll be able to see who's in, who's out, a calendar. Down below, you'll see celebrations. So if it's somebody's birthday, if their work anniversary, all that is just really quick here from the homepage snapshot. The next one, we're going to talk about people records. Again, everybody has, we want to be the single source of truth for your employee data. So here's where you'll find it all under the job tab. You got employment status, their information. Did they receive any compensation reviews? Did they get an increase in their role based on their anniversary, et cetera? All that stuff is going to be shown here under the jobs tab. Next, you'll see the org chart. Again, one of the things that we do, and I've noticed that everyone else did, which is amazing, is the organization. You want to be able to search by a name. You can do it by a directory. You can do it by alphabetical. You can do it by subgroups. So if I only want to look at the marketing team, or if I want to look at the business development team, or if I want to look at just the sales team, you can sort by those groups, or just like this shows here, org chart, and it's exportable through a CSV file if you'd like, or through Lucidchart. Next slide, you'll see some of the reports. We have robust, amazing reporting. It's one of the things that people love about Bamboo HR is once they get the data in there, then they can really dig in. And this is something that we work with constantly. So we have videos on our built in the software, so you can watch some videos how to do it. We have our CX team that's readily available. They love to walk through these types of things with people and help build out custom reports. The report here you can see is just employee turnover. So you can see what the termination type was. Were they fired or did they quit? Who's the manager? So you can really identify, be like, man, hey, Robert, you've got a lot of people that leave your team. Maybe we should talk to Robert and see if Robert needs to change his management style. So just a lot of the reporting you can do. Next slide. This is our applicant tracking software. So again, you can track it right here. You can see that there's a snapshot there of our app. So you can do things on the app. So again, remote work. You're out about, you're hiring somebody, you want to give a quick review. You're not the direct hiring manager, but you're tied to it. So they want you to, hey, I want to hire this person. You need to take a look at it, but I'm at the store. I can just pull up on the app really quick and kind of review a few things and look at the notes. You can rate everybody on a star system. You can go through and see who's come in and come out. It's a really great system. And then once you're ready to roll out a job, you create the job profile. You can build it out through templates. And once you're ready to post it, we will automatically send it out to some of the free job boards for you at the end of every day. So at the end of every day, we take a snapshot of the reporting of everything, and we automatically push it out there to those free job boards for you. Next slide. Offer letters, right? Everybody gets excited about this, so we want to be able to build that out for you to make it simple. We'll build the templates for you, so when you send it out, the things will be automatically imported from the employee profile. So, the offer for the role, name, the full-time position, the pay rate, all that stuff will be built here into this offer letter with e-signatures. So there's no longer having to track down somebody for a physical signature. Everything is done through an e-signature certification. Next slide is onboarding. So again, we focus a lot on that process is onboarding. So new hire packets, building that out, tracking where it is, automatic notifications being sent out upon hire. So when Jesse here is hired, we want to make sure that before they come on their first day, the IT team has set up their phone, they set up their computer, they set up their workstation, they have all this stuff. Because we know their t-shirt size, we have a welcome Bamboo HR t-shirt with their size on it. We found out before they came on board what their favorite candy bar was. So we threw in and got a bunch of whatchamacallits to put them onto their desks. So when they show up, they feel welcomed and they're ready to go. But part of also the onboarding is not just that feeling of special, being like excited about your new job, but getting things done prior to coming in. So if you have a new hire packet, you can send out and say, hey, before you show up on your first day, can you review these forms, these W-9s, and make sure that we have all your paperwork in? Get it all done electronically. So when they show up on their first day, it's just getting right to their job, getting into the business that they wanted to start doing, and right away without having to spend, days getting their paperwork and tracking them down for things being signed. All that's taken care of. The next slide, you'll see offboarding. Similar idea. When somebody leaves the company, you've got to know where their stuff is. You got to have a process for how to offboard. Well, we'll do that for you so you can track it, you can check it off, and make sure everything is done, all from the simplicity of Bamboo HR. Next slide, you'll see e-signatures. Again, it's really big. It's for everything from internal to external. And it's just, again, e-signatures are quite simple. People use it all the time, but it is built into the Bamboo HR platform to make it easier for you, especially right now during these COVID times. If you need to get a harassment document signed by the entire company, an anti-harassment document signed, well, you can send that out and they can just do an e-signature. So again, you're not having to get a physical signature from somebody. Next slide, you'll see is time tracking. We talked a little bit about that already. They can just clock in and clock out. They can use their phone for the app. So again, a lot of ways to make this very simple to use. Next slide, you'll see PTO and time off. Oh, you clicked on slide. So again, you can select PTO from the app, makes it super easy, but then you can also come down here on the time off request and see the hours you have. You'll also be able to see if as a manager, you'll be able to decline somebody and notice if you have multiple people out, because they'll be able to view what other people in the department are there. But again, very, very simple. But the calculation on the PTO time off is the one thing that we hear a lot of people say they love, is the ability to calculate how many hours you'll have at a specific time, so you can plan that vacation. The next slide, you'll see benefits. So we track all your benefits in your Ben tracking right here. You can scroll through dental, health, vision, and all the things that you'd offer, and then you'll show the schedule right here within the employee profile. Next slide, you'll see performance management. Again, this is that grid, so it's just a little bit more of a detail of that. The next slide, you'll also be able to see how well does the company recognize my value. So as the employee, do I feel valued? Do I feel like everything is going the way I want it? Or am I engaged? Am I getting what the tools I need from an employee standpoint? So it's that back and forth feedback. It's the employer wants the employee to be happy, the employee wants to be happy. So you have to have that feedback from both sides, and that's what we do. We allow you to do with our performance management software.
All right, you got about 30 seconds left, just so you know,
Oh
Steve.
boy, I'm almost done. Let's just burn through it. The EMPS, a lot of people talk about that. You can see an example. Next slide. Next two slides, company announcements, quite simple there. Tracking assets, that's again on the onboarding process. You can track everything from their serial numbers. So if you have to replace anything or if you lose something, training, tracking, quick access files. But the bigger thing I want to show is slide 58, where we help remote teams. I talked a lot about that. You can see here that a lot of the things we do is built around, and Bamboo HR has been incredibly successful during this COVID time, not in the fact that we're business, but we've been able to support all of the SMBs out there that needed to do remote when they weren't prepared for it. So Bamboo HR helps you with that, being a cloud platform. And that's everything. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you very much for squeezing that all in at the end. So now we'll just go to the question and answer period with Jay, who's going to moderate this part. So you're up, Jay. Take the floor.
Great. So first of all, thank you everybody for all your questions. We're not going to get to all of them today. So what I've done is I've tried to separate the questions into ones that everybody can ask. Blake Lindsay, very quickly, will we have the ability to email everybody following this? Because what I would like to do is send the list of questions that we don't get to all of our presenters today, and maybe give them a week to answer, and then we could broadcast those out. Will
Yep,
we
for
have
sure.
that ability?
Yep.
Excellent.
We will.
Okay, so presenters, if you can all come back on camera and turn on your mics, that would be really appreciated. And I'm going to ask the first question. I'm recognizing that not all of you have all the same functionalities, of course. Please, with your answers, try and keep them to under 30 seconds so we can get through as many of these as we can. So the first question is, will the plan administrators have the opportunity to communicate with plan members, either for, just hit everybody at once with updates, or specifically aim at their plan members, asking for updates like beneficiary, dependents, things like that?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. You know what? I'm going to moderate this. Nils, you're on the left of my screen. You go first.
Yeah, so it really depends. So on Collage HR, absolutely, there's an announcements tool built in there, so where plan admins can use to touch base with their employees and give them guidance. If I understand your question correctly, I guess that would be the answer.
Okay, Kaniz?
Oh, muted.
Oh, Kaniz, mic.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I was trying to unmute. Yeah, absolutely. All of that information is managed actually by our TPA. So our TPA is obviously our compliance and our second set of eyes on anything that the plan sponsor actually enters into the HRIS. So with that white glove service, we're able to manage all of those.
Josh?
Yeah, we take a little bit of a different approach. We don't have a TPA in the background. Ours is driven through direct integration. So any change that the employee is making, they can add their own dependents, they can add their own beneficiaries. It just goes through an approval process through the plan admin before moving to the carrier through integration.
Now, Chris, your program looks more like it's pre-set up. Do you also, or do you plan on integrating? Can you speak to that? And your mic is off. Still off. Okay, he's nodding his head yes. Steve, your camera's not on.
I'm back. I'm back
Okay,
now. Yeah, it's something that when we did the focus groups, one advisor, actually someone who used to be with BBD, actually came up with a couple of points, and that's one of the things we're actually going to be adding. So yes, that is in our roadmap for very soon.
All right, and Steve, are you still with us?
Yep. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, just can't see you.
Oh, well, I can fix that in a minute. But yeah, so Bamboo HR, we allow you to do that. We have announcements you can do. You have self-serve that the employees can log in and adjust certain things. And we have access levels that allow you to set permissions as well. So they can submit a request so the HR representative can then approve, or their direct manager can approve. So absolutely, Bamboo HR allows you to do that.
Awesome. Privacy type question, where do you guys store your digital information? Is it Canada or is it elsewhere? And can we choose where we want the information stored? How about Steve, you go first.
Yeah, so Bamboo HR, we have 3 data centers globally. We have one in the United States, one in Canada, and then one in Ireland. You can choose that, but by default, we'll always submit it to the area that's where you're based out of.
Chris?
AWS servers in Montreal, all Canadian based.
Josh?
AWS servers in Montreal for the standard, and we have a redundancy center in Kelowna.
Louise?
Yeah, same for Collage, all servers in Montreal, AWS.
And Kaniz?
And the same here as well. And we're fully PIPEDA compliant. We have bank level security, but our data centers are in Montreal with AWS.
Okay. Next, this is a question about payroll integration. Some of you seem to have your own payroll systems. Others seem to integrate with other payroll providers. Do you guys, or through your systems, will your payroll integrate with systems like QBO or Simply Accounting or any other accounting platforms? Josh?
Sure, yeah. So we integrate with QBO, Simply Accounting, Xero, NetSuite, the list goes on. So any type of accounting system that you're using, there's a good chance that we have an integration there. We also have a custom integration tool. So if it sits outside of that, like an older system like Great Plains or even older than that, we should be able to work with it.
Chris.
On the product roadmap for us.
Steve.
We have an open API that people can build out an integration. Payroll is a very big one because there's a lot that goes into it. So we also have some custom reporting that allows our product to make it as easy and painless as possible for any payroll product that you're using. So Bamboo HR does not have its own payroll product for Canada. We do in the United States, but for the last 10 years, we've just been building ways to make our product work with whichever one you choose to go with.
Kenise.
Yeah, we're actually launching our payroll next year. We're working on the Canadian payroll right now that will be seamless and part of the platform. But at the moment, we do have open APIs and we're able to connect with other payroll companies, depending, of course, on their requirements.
And Louise.
That was one of the things on our minds when we decided not to have our own proprietary payroll software, but instead to allow the client to pick the payroll software that works best for them. And then the payroll software, the different options, ADP, Ceridian, WagePoint, they each have their ability to sync with multiple accounting software. So I guess that's a yes through the partner or through the payroll software of choice of the client.
Okay, moving on. Some of you talked about AOR. So once an advisor signs up with you or places clients with you, who actually owns the information? Is it the employer, the HR platform, or the advisor? Chris, let's start with you.
We don't own any of the data. It's all strictly with the advisor and with the plan sponsor.
Steve?
We don't own the data as well. So, yeah. Sorry.
Oh,
quick answers because I know we're getting toward the end. So.
Oh, that's great. Kenise.
Yeah, all the data is owned and managed by the client, by the end user. They have full control of their data. We just host it, obviously, on cloud software.
Louise?
Same for Collage. We protect the data, but it's the client that owns it.
And Josh?
Client that owns it. There's some cases where some of the data is owned by the advisor, if it's advisor specific to the case, like if they're tracking commission, etc. But anything related to the client or the plan design is owned by the client.
All right, so moving on here. How easy is it if an advisor or a client wanted to move? I think one of you spoke to this. If a client or advisor wanted to move away from or to your system, for is it to transfer data in and out? Let's start with Louise.
Very easy. Uploading data from a different platform on a format like Excel or CSV would be super simple to do. And also leaving our platform, sometimes clients outgrow your software. They just have different needs, and that's understandable. So we help them. There's a lot of support to make that a seamless transition. And all of the information they can absolutely take with them.
Josh?
Yeah, so like Louise, we can do Excel imports. We also have an option during setup, which is like a full service implementation. So if you have an existing system, HR, payroll, or otherwise, we can basically pull the data on the client's behalf if they have absolutely no time to do a transition. So we have a fully managed sort of implementation as well, where the client doesn't have to do anything.
Kenise?
Yeah, the clients can download all of their data. We have a full, robust reporting module, so they're free to download all of their data in any format that they choose. We also document all of the implementation, so we actually create a workbook for that as well, which is also available to the clients as well.
Chris?
You can import via CSV, that's not a problem, but the other thing for us is that because we integrate with Bamboo and People and Breathe and several other HRs, you can actually, if you switch from one HR platform to another, you can just update your key, your access code, and then import the data from your new HR platform.
And Steve?
Yeah, similar to everyone else, nobody likes to do it, but absolutely Bamboo HR will help you. Our implementation team will work with you on downloading it in the right format and then importing it into Bamboo HR the way you need, and we'll customize the product around your needs.
Did get all of you, I believe. Moving on, would you classify yourselves as more of a help to the plan administrator, the broker, or to the plan member? Kenise.
All three, really. So we are there, it's a full service HRIS, and HRIS is excellent for employee self-service. So we found that our employees get tremendous value out of it with things like a mobile app as well and being able to access that information on the go. We help the HR manager, who's the plan sponsor, manage their benefits seamlessly with all the tools that we give them and all the expertise that we have as well. And then, of course, the advisor, we provide full advisor training and advisor support as part of our implementation.
Hopefully I was the only one getting the feedback on that one, and that came out clear for everybody. Louise, go ahead.
Yes, so whether you choose Benefits HQ, the benefits only solution, or Collage HR with the possibilities of benefits and payroll integration, you have a portal for the member, portal for HR or the plan admin, and you have a portal for the advisor as well. So everybody gets something different. The business strategy, I guess I would say, is really focused on advisors and how advisors want to help their clients, but everybody gets access and benefits from the platform.
Josh.
Yeah, so we have an advisor portal, a client portal, and an admin portal. So there's sort of 3 points of entry, and each sort of delivers unique value to each of those people. So I would say, and it also sort of depends on the life cycle of, if it's an enrollment, maybe the plan admin is getting immediate value because they don't have to do a paper enrollment. If an advisor is moving a plan from one carrier to another and they want a data export of all of the employee information, they're going to get value then. So I think the weights sort of change over time as different circumstances happen for that particular client or that particular plan.
And to Chris.
We are not plan member facing. We are strictly for advisors and admins. We leave it up to the HRs that we integrate with to actually be the plan member facing component of it. We are strictly advisor facing from the quoting aspect, and then from the admin standpoint for the forms and the HR integrations.
And Steve.
I'm going to echo what Kenise said, and because her answer sounded amazing, and that's everything that Bamboo does. All three, we're very glad to work with all the components. So, yes.
All right, and a great way to finish this off. This will be the last question. This is just your final wrap up. Why should a broker partner with you? If you could summarize in 30 seconds or less. Let's start with you, Steve.
Bamboo HR has a history that speaks to itself. Our product is made to set people free to do great work, and that's what we do. So we don't get a single person that comes to us and says we hate your platform. They typically just outgrow it or have other needs, and but we're very open, very transparent, and we're just a great company to work for. Along with everyone else, I'm sure they'll say the same things, but we'd love for you to consider Bamboo HR.
Chris.
Well, I've been an advisor. I've been licensed now for 19 years. So, I can honestly say this is something, all the pain points we're trying to address are pain points that I've come across in 19 years. And because we integrate with so many different HR platforms, people can actually choose what they want to go with from a price and feature standpoint. So this really is an advisor-driven platform.
Josh.
Yeah, so I think with HRIS, the sort of the most attractive part about HRIS is sort of this all-in-one approach. So all of the pieces of our software are proprietary. We're not owned by a large brokerage. We do have, of course, Sun Life has invested in it, so we do have ties there, but we are able to work with other carriers and will be. I think the all-in-one piece is probably the biggest piece. HR, payroll, group benefits together in a single, easy to digest package makes it really attractive for small and medium-sized businesses.
Louise.
I'd say Collage is a battle-tested solution. So we've been around for long enough, and we've received lots of investments that allowed us to build software that is stable, that is meaningful for clients. And above that, and especially since the acquisition, we continue to be a advisor-focused organization. So we're in the group benefits space. Our partner, our primary client, is the group benefits advisor, and we created a solution that is step by step, so that advisors get what they need, a digital solution focused around benefits, and then clients that need HR, they get that. If you want to integrate your payroll, you get that as well. So you have different levels of engagement for different needs, but the focus is always on advisors and how we can help them.
And Kenise.
Yeah, why should advisors partner with us? Well, we are advisors. We are owned by People Corporation, and you guys all know who they are. We are an MGA, we are a TPA, we are HR professionals. So our implementation team are not IT and tech people exclusively, they're actually HR people. So I work with a bunch of HR certified HR professionals. We have an award-winning HRIS. The HRIS itself is managed by a company called WebHR, and they are a global company, have won multiple awards. So we've taken their technology, their award-winning HRIS, and we've married it to connectivity with insurance carriers. So we provide the best kind of support, whether it comes to being an advisor, whether it comes to being an employee, or whether it comes to being an HR manager.
Okay, so just very quickly, give me a thumbs up if this will work. There are more questions. If I send them out in the next couple of days, can you guys get them back to us by, let's say, next Friday, same time? Fabulous.
Good.
Lindsay, Blake, if you can chime in on how people can get a hold of those questions or videos. And before you do that, I want to say a very special thank you to all of our guests. We appreciate your time and the effort that you've put into this. And to everybody listening, thank you very much for your time and continuing to be part of the group benefits meetings. Lindsay, Blake.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks so much. So we'll figure out a platform on where to post them. So we'll send a follow-up email to all the attendees on where they're going to be able to find them.
Yep. I'll have the
Fabulous.
questions shortly right after.
Excellent.
Wonderful. Well, thanks again to all the presenters and to BBD for sponsoring and giving us the platform. A big thanks to everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great night or
Thanks,
afternoon.
everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.